What if I told you a SPAC weekend didn't have ants marching, Gray Street, dancing Nancy's, or warehouse? Well, that's exactly what happened this weekend. We'll focus on night two, but this was not your typical SPAC weekend in ways that were good and just not so good. The DMB post show stream starts with a replay of today's opener, fresh off the presses of my cell phone. This is the two-step opener from today, PNP and Two Step. Only the second time this has happened in a Dave Matthews Band, full band show where it's segued in. And we'll talk about some other instances of these songs coincidentally played back to back. All right, no, I'll stop rambling. Let's start.
It's your boy Concert Viz 34 back at home.
What up? What up? It's your boy Concert Viz 34.
Yep, so your boy Concert Viz 34 coming to you here.
What up? What up? It's your boy Concert Viz 34. Aria. Okay, so this is Aria, and just tell us a little bit about yourself and about your love for the Dave Matthews Band.
I've been a fan of the band since April 28, 1998, and if you recognize the date, that's when Before These Crowded Streets was released.
Alpine is definitely a better venue than Summerfest, but we'll take it. I think I've been going to shows for about 20-something years.
I always tell people, like, compare DMB to now to when I first started. And I got started, in my opinion, I feel like I got started late. Like, I was at the very end of the band's prime. I feel like that 03 to 06 was like the end of the prime. 07, 08 was like, you know, we're at the very end. And then when Roy passed.
But Dave really, this is the thing. Dave has put, Rashawn has been assigned the quarterback of this team. He is the coach, the play caller. He designs the jams. Dave just shows up and plays whatever he's going to play. The Capital Region has entertained DMB fans all weekend. Shout out Albany, Schenectady, Saratoga Springs, what up? Ballaston, Glens Falls, what up? Lake George, what up? Troy, what up? Colony, what up? Latham, what up? Western Mass, stand up. Y'all not far away. Shout out to the Berkshires. Lenox, Mass. Tanglewood, what up? Pittsfield, Mass. Great Barrington. Shout out Vermont. Western Vermont. Rome, New York, stand up. Utica, we love your pies. What up? Man, them Syracuse fans was hating me stunting my UConn Husky jersey today. Don't blame me. Your team is trash. Go Huskies. Rochester, what up? Buffalo always representing in Saratoga for DMB weekend. Coming all the way down 90. What up? What up? It's your boy Concert Viz 34. Thank you for joining the DMB post show stream. And let me just start by saying shout out to everyone who stopped to say hi. I just want to remind everyone I am a fan like you guys. I just decide to come on after every show, but I am a fan. I am not a band member. I am not part of the crew. I love talking with you guys. I love hearing your perspective. I rely on your perspective to have a better understanding of this fan base. Today, and yesterday, what really warms my heart was not only just meeting everyone, but seeing young children or teenagers and even kids in their 20s that are adults now, right? Be so hyped up about this band, to be so into the various things. And then for some of those young men to say, hey, I watch your stream, or I was able to meet Rory. I told y'all last night that I met Rory's parents and I shouted him out, but he was not there or didn't want to come over, whatever it was. But the point is, I met him today, got to talk with him, talk with his mother, and to see all these young kids who love this band by choice is awesome. And it shows you the power of DMB to go to yet another generation of kids. This show, to me, what tonight did, it gave me a better appreciation for last night. And I have full awareness that some people thought that were at both nights, specifically there in person, not on the sidelines, not watching from the crib. If you were there both nights, there were people I talked to after the show that said they liked night 2 better. And as somebody who has strong opinions, I do want to make it clear that if that is your opinion, that is your opinion. And articulating that opinion is absolutely what it's all about. So in the comments, let me know if you liked night 2 better than night 1, if you liked night 1 better than night 2, if you liked both nights evenly. Tell me what you thought and tell me why. And that's the beauty of having conversations and really truly being able to kind of explain why. But for me, it was a tale of, wow, this is extremely special. Number one. The second thing, there's a stretch of this show that I'll get to in a second where I was like, these songs are a series of songs that I don't really want to hear from this, like not what I prefer from this band, right? The band was hyped up, and I'll say this, I just want to make this clear. Tonight's show, the crowd was hyped. Last night, it was a lot of red light, green light as far as the whole crowd's momentum. Last night, I was so in love with certain songs being played, and almost like every other song is like, wow, that's a gem. Wow, that's a gem. All right, more of a thing for the casual fan. Wow, that's a gem. But tonight, regardless of what anyone thinks of this set list, if you were in that building, you cannot deny that the energy was bussin'. I want to make that clear. The other factor here, so I said there's things that I really liked. There was a stretch of this show that was not for me. I said that the crowd was loud, pretty and pumped up and had high energy the whole time. The other thing is, with this show, right? When we look at this show and the overall climate of DMB, I am becoming extremely frustrated with some fans. And I want to say some fans because, again, I met so many great people this weekend that I had never met. And I met people that I've known for some years and some people even for almost a decade. But it is extremely frustrating that people want to make these Dave Matthews Band shows about them. How does that happen? I'm not talking about asking for a set list. I tried to get a kid a set list tonight, right? I wanted them to get that. I'm not talking about asking for a guitar pick. I'm talking about bringing in those daggone squeaky pigs, and while they're playing songs that are quiet, you're hearing squeaks. I'm talking about people talking over My First Ever Loving Wings. Last night, it was Cry Freedom. I'm talking about people that want to fight and move around, stumble drunk. It has always been issues over the years, but to me, my thought was the reason that DMB was avoided like the plague when I was in high school by me is because of the culture of just all the things outside of the music. And here we are. Some of these people can be grandparents. It's not a knock. That's a beautiful thing to be able to see your children's children. but they're grandparents and they're yapping. And and to be fair, in every age range of this show, there were respectful people. But the yapping, the pig squeaking, the just other distracting things, we're not here to play beach volleyball. And listen, I've hit a beach ball here and there myself, as early, but when that becomes the focal point, when there's a tour debut or a rarity, there were no tour debuts tonight, but like a song that someone's never heard, like Loving Wings, and people are busting around beach balls and squeaking pigs and yapping, it's extremely frustrating. And I don't know what to do. I could say, hey, don't you do that. But you know what? People want to do it more. But let me get focused back on the show because you guys want to know what I think. So PNP and the Two Step. Wow. You guys heard it. I was like, what? Let's take a look. I want to run you guys through some things with PNP and the Two Step that I was able to do some research on. Shout out to Ants Marching and their search engine to be able to search this. Shout out to the DMB Almanac for having this information. So this is a Dave and Friends show from 10/29/2005. This is the first instance where, by chance, Pantala Nagapampa was played part in. Then and it was Dave and Tim. This is part of a Dave and Tim portion of the Dave and Friends show. And then Two Step was after. It did not say when. I want to play this for you. This is some taper audio. Again, thank you for the Almanac. They always help me out. This stuff also is why it took so long. I wanted to make sure I got some of this audio set to go. So this is 10/29/2005. This is PNP. They used to, Dave and Tim used to play for years this What Will Become of Me. And in certain instances, they would have What Will Become of Me into Pantala Nagapampa. And so they do that, and then they kind of stop, and then they play Two Step. Let's listen here. This is What Will Become of Me. Let me know if you're having trouble hearing this. I'm going to speed it up for the sake of time here. Hold on. Clapping, hard stop, and then Two Step. Dave and Tim. This is all Dave and Tim. All right, so let's go back to that show here. Again, just to show you 10/29/05, Dave and Tim, kind of run of songs in a Dave and Friends show. All right, next up we have 122/99. This is a Dave and Tim show at Bloomsburg University of Pennsylvania. That is a Pennsylvania college system. I remember one of my old neighbors went to California University of Pennsylvania. It just sounds very confusing, but shout out to the collegiate system there, state collegiate system in Pennsylvania. So it's the same idea. What will become of me, Pantala Nagapampa, Two Step. I'm not going to play it again. All right. And then we have the other instance for 2024. This is the the E2, Pantala Nagapampa in the Two Step. First time ever that PNP has segued into Two Step. So it goes right into Two Step there, and that's the first time ever. And then tonight, if we go to tonight, this is the first time that Pantala Nagapampa in the Two Step is opened a show, right? And the first time it's in the main set. And I'll tell you this, when you start off like that, the challenge then becomes you're going to have two different things. There's two paths you can take. You can continue to keep the general majority of the fan base that's at this show, which cares more about just high energy. They don't care about having a song like Joyride per se. They may still like Joyride. They like the energy of Joyride. They don't care about Joy. They don't care about Crazy Easy. They just want songs that are going to get them pumped up. So one avenue you can take for the band is to just keep a high energy songs and more casual friendly, radio friendly songs. The other option is you still may have some of those casual or radio friendly songs and hit songs or songs that weren't a radio single, but they kind of, if you go to a couple DMB shows or you go once a year, you may love them. They went that route. The other route is, they went the route of having more just high energy songs. But the other option is to add more deep cuts, have a Halloween, have a Joyride, have some stuff that's just crazy deep cutty mixed into this set frequently. But what they did is they wanted to keep the energy up. And I will say this, I didn't need to hear Stay. I was still enjoying it. I enjoy these songs, but I think that if they play other songs in their place, it'll be better. Real quick, Griff, there's an Indiana University of Pennsylvania. Yes. And you know what? The funny thing is someone from my childhood street went to Indiana University of Pennsylvania. Shout out to Jackson Butchercross. That's John Butchercross's son. He played golf there. And graduated. So yes, I've had from my childhood neighborhood that was built in 1997, all new houses at the time. I had a California University of Pennsylvania and Indiana. Anyway, let's stay focused. You're getting me sidetracked, Griff. So they play Stay. I'm fine because we just had Two Step. I was moving. I'm happy. We have Every Day. And again, if you like these happy, fun songs, nothing wrong with your opinion. You enjoyed this set. But you go from PNP to Two Step, and that PNP to Two Step keeps me happy through Stay, even every May, as I call it, every day. Right? Yes, Griff. Yeah, I literally moved into a new neighborhood down the street from the condo I lived in, and then my babysitter was John Butchercross's ex-wife. Fun fact. I didn't know that my parents just wanted a babysitter. They met someone down the street, and this lady's like, yes, my husband works at ESPN. He's trying to grow his career, so he moved from Massachusetts to the greater Hartford area. Yeah, fun fact. So Stay every day. I'm like, well, you know what? My guy Buddy is getting a lot of love. This is a song where he gets to shine. And it's a song that people, from 9/11, this song was a big lift me up. It's a song that people are having a tough time. Fine, do it. Then they play Looking for a Vein. And I'm like, well, this song hasn't been played. It's not played as much as it used to be, last year. And even I believe the year, was it played a year before that? I forget when Vane started. Was it 22? Oh, it was 23. It made its debut last year. Okay. Oh, no, 2 years ago. The time just flies. 23 is 2 years ago. It's 25 now. Okay. So, yeah, 2 years ago it was played nonstop. And the message of the song is fine, but it's getting that big whiskey beat down Looking for a Vein is being played like as heavy as a lot of big, but it was this opening year 23, 24, a little less, but still too much. So anyway, you get Looking for a Vein, and you're like, okay, obviously Dave needs a break. They have all these high energy songs. He even said kind of, I need to slow it down. Then you have Jimmy Thing, which again, the crowd there was pumped up, and I believe they sang that first verse. When Jimmy Thing actually was played, I started to get like distracted, because I'm trying to take in the music, but I'm trying to like, what's going on? Like, where are we going with this set? Then after Jimmy Thing, they started to make that sign that they were going to transition into another song, a cover song. Jordan Finnan says, why Everyday Catches Strays? I'll tell you why Everyday Catches Strays. Because if Everyday was not, I probably still wouldn't care as much, but Everyday originally was number 36. Number 36 had more percussive flexing. Carter had more space to really, and Dave was playing that acoustic, and you could really hear it bump, pop, and bounce. And he went from that to just straight up. And also, let's be honest, the Boyd solo in Everyday live with that electric violin. I know people miss the sound of the violin. I do not miss those Boyd solos. And I think Buddy does a good job of engaging the crowd in this song. But Everyday is an inferior version of number 36. It is a downgrade. So I'm always going to I like the album Everyday. I think Closing with What You Are in the main set is brilliant. But I don't, it is not up there with the other songs from that era, which again have aged much better in my opinion. So Right has aged so well. What You Are has aged very well. If I Had It All has aged well in my opinion. Fool to Think is, I love it. I don't need Everyday. Anyway, so Jimmy Thing, they play Word Up after it. And here's the thing. I know people have really disliked Word Up. It wasn't as bad as I thought I was going to brace for impact and feel. But when you have Word Up that was preceded by Jimmy, and before that it was Vain, and before that it was Everyday, and before that it was Stay, we're a long ways from that absolute slam dunk opener. Right? And that was my disconnect with this set. But what I will say again is the energy, the crowd, I still was like, yo, this crowd is bussing. And that's good. It's great to have a crowd that's really excited and engaged, and it's a Saturday. But for what I like, the optimal, and again, it's not about me, but I also know people in that crowd, they went to SPAC. That's really what it's about, I think. People travel to Saratoga Springs to see shows where you're going to get some bangers. You're still going to get the hits. Right? You're still going to get the hits. Make no mistake about it. You're still going to get hits. But you usually have like a series of really nice deep cuts that makes the ticket price, that makes the expensive hotel in Saratoga. Or, by the way, side note, if you haven't gone to SPAC before, you don't need to stay in Saratoga. It's overpriced and overrated in my opinion. Stay north or south of Saratoga Springs. It's so much cheaper. And there's still beautiful things. I just went to this park today to go running. And was it Saratoga State Park? No, but it was an absolute beautiful place to go running. in the capital region. So tip for those who want to go to SPAC, you don't need to stay in Saratoga. It's overpriced. And then everyone's trying to go back and eat food after the show. You go back south of Saratoga Springs, capital region, you go north Lake George, it's better. It's more peaceful at night. And it's cheaper. But all these songs, it takes to when you never know it's played, I'm like, this is awesome. You never know it's played. And I'm like, okay, we back. All right, we can get this thing. We can get a couple more deep cuts to run. And guess what? We still got more deep cuts. But you never know it's played. Then it's Hunger for the Great Light. And you're still like, like, I don't dislike Hunger. Like, I'm not like, oh, I don't want to hear this. It's all right. Then you have 7, which, by the way, has aged. It's aging a little better because they stopped playing it so much. So when it is played, you know it's a trick. Then Do You Remember is played, which people like. I don't want to remember. And I know Dave wrote the song about a neighbor, I believe it was, that passed. So there's value in that. But I was like, Then we get Rapunzel, and it is a Before These Crowded Streets song. I love the song. But it's like, after all of this, we got Rapunzel. And again, the band is still bussing. Like, they're still getting the energy from the crowd. But I'm just saying, for what people expect from SPAC, it's not people. Like, when you travel to SPAC, I don't go to SPAC thinking, oh, it's going to be like all deep cuts. I know there's going to be hits. I know every day. I wouldn't be shocked if a song like Bayou was played, right? But it wasn't. Haha. Y'all were saying, I hope you get Bayou. I didn't. Right? But I'm just saying, I think this was an odd set, and this was for some people who have a similar mindset to me. This is definitely like, this show is the least SPAC-y like show that I've seen at SPAC. There were so many gaps in between great songs. Steady As We Go, I don't mind it, but again, it's the context of what happens before it. We haven't gotten a Joyride, or we still, like, we had that two-step intro. And again, I have no regrets about going to this show. The PNP to two-step opener. The energy of the crowd, being with friends, seeing the lights, seeing this band slay this crowd. And that's the thing too, is I don't have to like songs, but I can appreciate when the band connects with the fan base. People were jumping up and down. They were excited, right? But this is not going to be one of my all-time favorite shows as far as the what I love about DMB. But they're an eclectic band. There's so many things that can draw you to DMB. All right, we get Pig. Now we back up. Now we get Pig. And then this is where context is important. We get Pig. Awesome. I'm singing along. Yeah, yeah. Just put the love in it. I feel like Stevie Wonder, right? After that, Loving Wings starts, and I'm like, I've been waiting for this song for a while. But the frustrating thing again was people were yapping. Now, to be fair, Dave did not specifically mention that this was a song the late Ian Kuhn, monitor engineer for the band. The mix that they get through their in-ear monitors was controlled by Ian. That's a very important job. So it's not what we hear in the stands or the crowd. It's what the band hears, right? Each musician on stage has a specific mix of other band members and different noises and different levels. And then some people like Stefan has a little bit of his bass playing through his cabinet, the little thing you see on stage, because he likes to feel he likes to feel a little bit of that bass sound that he's playing so that he can kind of stay on. And shout out to some of the people I've been fortunate enough to talk to people that know these things behind the scenes to give me better context, that know or have been behind the stage or side stage or kind of have that intel. But he doesn't mention that this is the emotion behind Loving Wings. This is a song that Ian loved. And maybe that would have helped the crowd understand shut up. And maybe Dave in his emotion just didn't have he couldn't even say the words talk about Ian without breaking down. But this was a beautiful tribute to the late Ian Coon. And if you wonder why this Chicago 2-night stand is arguably the best weekend 2-night stand so far, depending on what you go for D&B, a lot of that can be attributed to him trying to pay tribute to Ian in what was his town. I guess I want to say it was his hometown, but there's some connection between Ian and Chicago, whether it was just recently that he lived there or he lived there his whole life. I don't know for sure. But there's something about the way he played Chicago in Loving Wings, and Ian's been on his mind, and Dave lost his mother this year. But the crowd was like, nah, we don't care. Like they didn't know this, but they just didn't care why Dave, like there was no self-awareness. And for some reason, the people that go to sporting events and concerts, especially since the pandemic, a lot of them lack self-awareness. And guess what? It's not kids. People talk up down. And this quick side note, I mentor young men in my church, right? These are elementary, middle school, high school. And people talk down all day about the kids and this and that. What about the parents? Where are the parents? And the parents at these shows are yapping. It's not kids. I have not seen a kid misbehave at a DMB show. I know kids misbehave. I work with kids. All right? I work with young men. I work in our youth church with our with middle school kids of all, both men, boys and girls. I know kids is crazy, but you have to speak with them. You have to relate. You have to help them through their trauma and really see the root. But the point is, the kids aren't acting up at these shows. These are grown adults. And so Loving Wings was ruined in some way, in many ways. I tried to make the most of it. I tried to focus in on the moment and just take it in. I can't even remember recording it because I had my hand up, but I was trying to really be in the moment of just, this is a beautiful tribute that's been ruined. Right? Then after that, these covers, Word Up and Let's Dance, just like people had told me all year that called into the post-show stream, Word Up took a little bit. I think people were trying to figure out what it was. Once they figured out what it was, when Rashawn started singing, it was like, ah. And Let's Dance, everybody and they daddy, everyone was really hype about Let's Dance and the Bowie cover. And so the energy went up. Then the Space Between came out. And this is the point where I say, hey, yo, this could be Bayou. And then I saw the signs for Space Between. I was like, I saw where his hands were and all that. I was like, oh, it's not Bayou. And then after that, you have Why. And by the way, the Still Dancing with the Grugux King, when Dave sings that, and then after that, everyone is cheering. The loudest roars were like at that point. So the legacy of Leroy Moore means a lot. Even, I mean, obviously it should, but like, you got to remember, like, I never saw Leroy Moore live. I was a fan at the time, but I didn't go to shows because I thought it was I didn't want to be with the frat bros, and I regret that. I should have went. But a lot of the fan base that fill up these venues, and there's a lot of fans that go to these shows that have never seen the. I mean, again, there's kids. I haven't seen them. I'm 34, right? He passed away when I was 17, almost 18. So a lot of fans that go to shows now, especially if they're under a certain age, they never saw Leroy. But to hear that pop and that crowd roar is powerful. And again, I don't ever like. I think it's great it's a tribute to Roy, although I think it's still a rock song. But he loved it. He actually liked the roots of it. But while it's a great tribute and it got loud roars, I'm not looking for that style of DMB at a show as far as if I had my way, my pick. Still a powerful moment, still an energy moment. I'm not there like this. Come on, man. But I'm still like, this isn't one of the best shows at SPAC. It's not even in the mid tier. This is one of the lower ranked shows I would rank it compared to my other SPAC experiences. And here we are back to a song that I love. And I sang this song and I was so excited. And the crowd was kind of just standing there like, oh. And so I said, and I applaud this band. I said, listen, more shows need to close out with What You Are. And I have a feeling that, because I look back at some shows from when I started going in 2012, I look back at the Caravan. And I look back, there's some Copper Pot videos where you have What You Are towards the end. The crowd just didn't react to it. There were some people that were happy and there was a couple people singing, but I think it's a song it's a deep cut. It's not played, so people they didn't know what to do with it, but it's like, wow, this is powerful, but we don't know what to do with it. And so the moment, one of the songs I really wanted, the crowd was like, yeah, all right. I mean, this is okay. This is heavy. I walk into this room. Oh, yeah, Dave is on one tonight. Yeah, like that's what. Like I just saw heads where Let's Dance and Word Up. People was bopping, and so I can't like. I applaud the band for mixing it up, and listen, people did appreciate it, especially in that pit close up. But as much as I say, oh, I really wish the band did this or that, we're in Saratoga Springs, New York on a Saturday night, and What You Are didn't hit the whole crowd like Word Up did. And maybe it's been that way longer than even I started going, but I hope for these things for the band, but the crowd's not reacting. Yeah. So that it just made it different. But maybe the crowd is changing. Let me know, guys. I've been to 6 different weekends of SPAC. Some of them early on were just one night of the 2 nights. The last couple of years, I've been every night 1 and night 2, 22 to 26. Oh, no, 20. Is it 20? Did I go in 22? No, I don't know if I went in. Yeah, I did. That was the pay for what you get year. From 2022 to 2020, 25. It's not, we're not in 2026. Sorry. It's late. 2022 to 2025, I've been both nights. Prior to that, 18, 17. Did I go in? I don't think I went in 21. 18 and 17. I may have went 19. I don't remember. That's neither here nor there. These crowds, the takeaway is not even the set as much as the crowds are. I don't know. I feel like the crowds were different when I started in 2012. But I also only went to a couple of shows. I went to 2 shows that year, and I went in 2013 to 3. So I wasn't going like I'm going to 4 this year, and this is a low year because I want to be there for my son. Daddy can't be going off willy-nilly every weekend, right? I'm going this weekend. I'm going back to be with my son for a couple of days, my lovely wife, and gonna be back home taking care of stuff, get the gas tanks filled, get the trash all stuff, check, make sure there's no critters sneaking in, dad type stuff. Saying yes dear, yes dear, yes dear. Okay. But the crowds, I think I just have to, I'm just coming to the point where it's like, first of all, I applaud this band, and please, DMB, please keep doing it because people appreciate it. But even when they make a set like this, I look at it and say, what is all this gap in the middle? But the crowd tonight was like, yes. But if we go back to last night, and we look at this set, and we say, what would you say? Idea of you, great. Lovely down, cools down, but people still like it. Don't drink, and then it goes again and again, which is like, and then it goes to cornbread, 41. Okay. And then walk around the moon, then pay for what you get. Yes. Billy's, yes. Stolen away, cool. Not, don't hate it. Like it, you get a funny gets momentum, then Cry Freedom, awesome. Recently, awesome. Shotgun, awesome. Fool in the Rain didn't even feel like a cover last night. You and Me, not my favorite, but there's a bunch of bangers around it. Then Boa Closer, yes. Sister, Dave went through a lot to play Sister, and he probably shouldn't have. But I know people like that song, but I was like, not for me. But then the Stone Closeout, awesome. The overwhelming majority of night one was, to me, stuff I really, really love the band executing. And even the stuff like Cornbread and You and Me that I'm not a fan of, they were surrounded by great stuff. 41 could always be better just by adding a sax, but it still is a great song to sing the verses to. So I appreciate night one much more because of night two, where we had this lull for me stay to, I would say, I'll just say Rapunzel, because in a show like this where you're not getting any bangers or heavy hitters, let's just go through some of these spec. I'm just going to pick some random shows. I'm just picking random shows, just random, completely random shows. So let's go to 06, 617, right? One Sweet World, Boa. Then you get a Hunger like we got tonight, but you just had One Sweet World, Boa to start off. Then you get Crash Into Me, PNP, Rapunzel, but then you get a So Much Bridge, Too Much, Lie in Our Graves, which wasn't played as well. Rhyme and Reason after it, Warehouse, which everyone loves, Say Goodbye, Kill the King. You get a Jane, which is awesome, tour debut as well. Then you get a Can't Stop, but it's only a partial, which is actually awesome because we don't need to hear the full song. You get a Crush, which is, guys, look at this. This Crush is 12 minutes. Yes, the band had a violin player and a keys player and Dave and a bass player and Rashawn, and they only played Crush for 12 minutes. Not 15 minutes, 12 minutes. Awesome. Ants Marching. Then you get a Sister, Everyday, Two Step. Okay. That's pretty cool. Let's go to another random. I'm just going to pick a random SPAC show, right? All right, so let's pick 6/20, 2008. Again, I haven't pre-looked at these. Bartender Opener, Everyday, Proudest Monkey, Satellite, Cornbread. That's a little sus. Then you get You Might Die Trying, Out of My Hands, He, Crashing to Me. Okay. And then you get Two Step, Idea of You, Nancy's Crush. This show is, this may be a bad example for sure. This is a night one, but this is back when night ones were a warm up into night two. And night two, you get a Don't Drink, One Sweet, Gray Street, Dreaming Tree at the 4 spot, 41, Rhyme and Reason, Shotgun, Ants Marching, A Dream So Real, tour debut, 40, Liberation, Cornbread, man, but then you get a Money cover, Pink Floyd, Money, That's What I Want. He, Lie in Our Graves pops in. Jimmy Thing, So Much Bridge, Too Much. So a Lie in Our Graves reprise in the E1. So I can't believe that we would lie. They finish it off. So Damn Lucky, Thank You. And so even some of these shows have songs where I'm like, do I need that? But they have power play songs. Here, A Dream So Real, Ants Marching. Right? So yes, this was my 64th show. When I'm 64. Will you still need me? Will you still leave me? I don't know. Shout out to the Beatles. So there you go. That's the set. Oh, let's take all day. Let's get a little. I'll play the song for you guys. Give me 1 second. I'll play this. I'll let you guys. I want you guys to put in the comments what you think of it. So I was able, I mean, the Almanac was able to confirm it, but they actually, I know they were able to get like confirmation from from the band, not from directly from the band, but someone who's, works with the band. So this, like, that's the name of it. Let's see. Where is it? Okay, I'm just trying to find where I put it. Oh, here it is. Take All Day, Last Stop. Okay. So this is the song. I'll just play it for you guys. I'll skip through. I want you guys to listen through to it. So I'm going to turn my mic off so you guys can hear the song.
Because I made it up. But if you'll indulge me,
just skipping a little.
love's not easy, not like taming lions or sleeping giants. Love will get the best of you. It's no game. Wanna tell you I love you, but it'll take all day. Take all day. Love's not like that. No, it's not easy. Not like broken bones or dying alone. It'll put a spell on you. It'll run you through. I wanna tell you I love you, but you know I do. No, it's not easy, not like magic. Dragon princess, it's no fairy tale. The train to live, it'll steal your heart away. It'll make you pay. I wanna tell you I love you, but it'll take all day.
There you have it. That's the new song. Again, that's my raw audio. Shout out to Chris Drews. He's gonna get that tape for me at some point. Guys, give these tapers some time. I know Richmond isn't posted on Ants yet, but there were tapers for those nights. Multiple tapers. I think it was two tapers were down there because I saw them. I'm in a chat with some of the tapers, and shout out to all of them. And yeah, they were down there. But I'll look forward to hearing Chris's audio. But it's just all the, like, you can't even appreciate that music because people are yapping. It's a beautiful song. I think it works great in the E1. I'm interested. Dave is in a he's in a spot where he's, I think he's, Something to Tell My Baby, which I don't even like that song. But that song, this song, some of these ideas he has, he's really in a spot. He's a grandfather, and just for context, it's one of his nieces or nephews that either just had a baby or is going to be expecting a baby. I don't know the full details. I'm not going to be TMZ, but he did mention either like I'm a grandfather. I'm going to be, and so that's for one of his, and leave his daughters alone. People were body shaming or not. They were trying to look. Oh, they don't look pregnant. Guys, stop it. And there were women doing. I'm like, really? You're a woman and you're trying to say if they look like what in the? Anyway, again, some fans in this fan base are sad. I just hope they get better, more self-awareness. But it's a nice little song, just about appreciating those around you. And I think that's where Dave is right now. He has strong feelings about ending war and peace on earth. Take that as you may. He's always felt this way outside of his music, about when he's put it in his music. Take it or leave it. You can agree, you can disagree. That's where he's at. He came from a country that had a system of apartheid. So he doesn't like war and conflict and oppression. And he views the world through the lens of what he saw that he did not like in South Africa. Anyway, but he has this other side, other kind of theme of, hey man, just be appreciative of what you have. He's getting older in age, and I think he appreciates his children, his now either grandchild or soon to be grandchild that'll come. And then we get a Last Stop, and again, phenomenal song, just powerful. The clapping was there as well. Here, let me slide into that Last Stop since I have. Oh no, I'll skip it. Sorry, it'll be up, and there's already been versions of this song that you can kind of take it from. But there you go. That is what we have. Oh, posters. And let me slide this over. I just will say, I'm gonna get a picture up here. I will say this. I've had the pleasure of meeting Mr. Daniel Danger. His real name Daniel Niadlik. And first off, he's had some kind of like scary health issues with him, and he's like, some of you may relate. I think the last I checked, it was like you go to the doctor and something's wrong with you, and they just don't know exactly what's wrong, and you're like something is, and they know that something is wrong, but they're trying to pinpoint it because everything they're testing you. So he's had some health challenges last year, and I wish the best for him, his young daughter, and his wife or girlfriend. I apologize if I messed it up, Daniel. I think it's his wife, but either way, he has a beautiful family. And I brought my wife to his art exhibit the week of her birthday. She's the awesome thing about my wife is she loves art, but she's like, oh, this poster culture and the live music you go to is interesting. So we went to the exhibit, really cool. But nobody is telling poster artists, you need to go and sign posters at the actual show your posters at. And I've met a poster artist at a Humphreys show once, but they don't have the poster culture we have. It can be, there's spots of it that are good, but neither here nor there. This gentleman at the art exhibit he had at his own studio, if you brought a poster that he did, he physically signed and doodled on it, if you wanted him to, right? And he could write something personalized to you. This man, any person who entered that exhibit that had a previous fish, I saw a fish fan who was there. There were some other prints that people had, and he physically signed them and took time to talk to them and get to know them. And he did that today, and I know a lot of people that really felt like their day was made meeting this artist who a couple of years ago started making Dave Matthews Band posters. He's a music fan. I believe he can play some guitar. I know he's big into collecting pedals, guitar pedals. And this was a very awesome experience that Alpine didn't get it last year. Deer Creek didn't get it. This was Saratoga, and that's the beauty of SPAC, because he's a Western Massachusetts based artist. He comes out to SPAC. Like, you're not having, like, this is not going to happen. I'm sorry, Deer Creek. It's not happening at Deer Creek. No, a poster artist is not going to Jim Mazda is not going to Alpine. This was a uniquely SPAC thing. And I just have to give Daniel just a lot of props for being out in the hot sun and talking to fans and signing the posters that they just literally got and personalizing them, meaning that personalization almost guarantees that person's going to keep that in their family, or they're going to keep it in their household and it'll be passed down to their kids. Not that they're going to flip that poster and sell it for somewhere else. And that's what that does, because who's wants to buy a poster and it says Johnny, hi Johnny, right? People are either want it blank or they want a personalized. And like, I just got to give this man props because he does that. The other thing that he does is he is outspoken against AI prints. He is outspoken against that, and I am all for poster artists taking a stand against this AI art craze, because we have talented individuals who have invested so much to give us the human touch on these posters. And if people are going to cheat and shortcut and use AI and then have you pay a full price that you would pay for an original hand-drawn piece of art, that's not, no. There's a controversy with Tedeschi trucks, and they quickly addressed it and made it right for the fans. But in Daniel was very outspoken on that. In some other situations, he's been very outspoken. So he's a great dude, both meeting him in person at his exhibit. Some of y'all met him this weekend at SPAC Night too. I say this weekend because it's now Sunday, July 20th. Oh, R.I.P. to it's Chris Cornell's birthday, right? Is it the 20th or 21st? I think Chris Cornell's birthday is today. This is the type of important stuff we need to know. Even though he's obviously passed. Yep, July 20th, 1964. He would have been 60 last year. He would have been 61 this year. Anyway, also a special date in my concert history. In 2008, July 20th, 2008, I went to my first major amphitheater concert, Lincoln Park, Project Revolution, in which I saw Chris Cornell on his birthday have his own set, and then Lincoln Park, which was my favorite band in my childhood. But anyway, I'm rambling, blambling. Mile High Dad, what up? Good to see you on. I know it's it's midnight, 12:08 Mountain Time. Jordan said Roy didn't play in that 0840. Oh, because that was after the Bristow show. Okay. Yeah, that's the poster. Oh, the weekend poster. Let's look at that as well. We're gonna look at the weekend poster. All right, so these are the two posters, but this is another Todd Slater poster. The bird, the one to the right, the horse, that's the Daniel Danger poster. And I thought these were great posters. They appeared to all be sold out by the end of the night. I don't know if they packed them up when the time I got the merch in, but they weren't there. They were selling other stuff, so I would believe they sold out, which is great to see. The Daniel Danger poster was available through Showtime. It's interesting. The post, like, and maybe it's just the who's coming in, but I thought this Daniel Danger would have sold out before Showtime. I got in at 6:35-ish to the poster stand. I was at this poster stand by 6:35, and it still was available. Oh, it was 5 shows before he got hurt. He was fine. He just didn't play. Oh, he didn't play with the rest. Oh, thank you, Jordan. So it looks like it was before he got hurt, but he didn't play. Thank you for that context, because I was not following the band back heavily. At that time, I was a very, very casual fan listening to really studio tracks, which shows you how casual I was, because I wasn't even listening to they would be on Pandora back in those days. Sometimes some of the live stuff would come on, but it was something that, to fully appreciate the live stuff, I had to physically go. For me personally, some people were able to get live in Red Rocks and just do that, but so I thought this was a great poster weekend. The night 1 poster was available night 2, and then was available for most of the night. And at some point, it looks like either they pulled them down or it did sell out. I just didn't buy posters because I don't have any more space, and I have to frame about at least 5 or 6 posters down that I haven't stored away. So I can't get another poster. I almost bought the Danger, but I can't get another poster right now. I could, but I'm not. So there you have it. Yeah, I feel like the biggest takeaway for me tonight is, man, these crowds, like the pig squeaking, and I just I and I think it's just, this was SPAC, right? I've been here, but I've been hearing reports from across multiple venues of people saying this, at that same thing with the crowd. Guilford, I do feel, I have hope that Guilford's not going to be as wild, and that's why I think the reason, it's not to gatekeep. If you want to go to Guilford and get ate by a bear, that's fine. Okay. If you want to get ticks and fleas and bed bugs, you can go to Guilford. I'm not trying to gatekeep it. But all jokes aside, Guilford, the reason that Guilford has what it has is because it's a pair of weekday shows. If it was a weekend in Lake Winnipesaukee, I think it would be a little more wilder. And as a matter of fact, they do have country concerts. From what someone said in the thread, someone had a question about camping. The people at the campgrounds told DMB fans they don't mind DMB fans, as the country shows have the wildest fans, and so they loathe the country fans. So take that as you will, but I think a lot of that's because DMB, they get the midweek DMB fans. They don't get the weekend DMB fans. Jordan skipping Gilbert because he spent too much money at SPAC. Yeah, and you know what? There's people that I know, my friends from the Buffalo Metro. They are Olivia and Justin. They're not going to SPAC this year because, listen, the hotels were even more expensive than last year. And the cost, like, to get tickets, I don't think they got confirmed tickets. So they were like, listen, we're going to skip it. We're going to focus our resources on Guilford. The SPAC and Guilford run is tough because it's expensive. And then if you stay by Lake, like, the thing is, Lake Winnipesaukee is not too far off from SPAC. Living, like, being in Saratoga and getting something Lake Winnipesaukee and Guilford area, like, they're both huge lake tourist destinations. Now, Saratoga has horse racing, but Lake Winnipesaukee is a huge, people from all across New England and other parts of the country come up to that lake for the summertime because you get less humidity than southern New England, and you get nature and you get water. And so it can be hard getting stuff by Guilford. So it's hard to do both because you're paying premiums to high demand northeastern United States getaways, upstate New York and northern New England. So it's hard to do both. All right, that's all I'm gonna do for tonight. It's been fun going to these shows. Sometimes these post shows are hard because I'm like, it's been a fun, awesome, long day, but it's time to go to bed. But again, man, just it is so great to be out here, to be outside, and to just see everyone and feel the love and the support and the appreciation. Even people, like, you know what's the coolest thing is, it's not even people who, because I'm not like, oh, y'all don't know who I am. One of the favorite things I love about it, this, like, just going to shows, is not the people who don't know that, like, oh, you make those videos, like, and I love everyone who watches and talks and engages and supports. Please stop by, say hi, talk, share your perspective. That's what I want to hear, what people think. But people who don't necessarily know what I do or what I've done, and they just sit next to me, they're my seat neighbor, and we just talk about music, right? And we just, so many great fans, despite all of this, the frustrations I have with the live show and talkers. There's so many great fans of this band, and I meet probably at least one or two people every run that I've never met and who don't know who I am. And that's the beauty of this. All right, I'm excited to go back home tomorrow. thank you to everyone too who's like, hey, how's your son, how's the wife, and all that. My life has truly changed, as many of your guys' lives have changed with having, when you have your first, second, third, fourth, whatever your child, you have a child, you bring life into this world. And so I'm excited to get back home. So with that, I wanted to close out with me singing to my son. I love my boy My. That's what we call him. His name's Miles. And I love my wife, and I appreciate my wife. I miss my wife and my son and my family in general that back home. And I can't wait to get back home. And it's a beautiful thing to have, a beautiful dilemma to have, to want to get back home to a family. And it's a fulfilling thing versus just going home to a 1-bedroom apartment like I used to. And it's still cool. Like, hey, those years were good, but it's nice to go home to a family. And hopefully for those of you who are hoping one day to have that same feeling, I hope you have the ability to feel what it feels like to have a family, to love, to support, to have a priority for, even over DMB. As much as I have these little getaways there, I'm not doing as many shows as I usually do, and it's beautiful because there is nothing like having a little man, or sometimes some of you guys have girls that you get to raise. It is a blessing and a gift to be able to raise a child. Anyway, not to get all sentimental with you guys, but my life has changed for the better. So let's close out with me singing to my son. Excuse my my vocal challenges here, but here it is, number 41. I'm singing to my son. All right, take care, guys. Peace.
All right, my, we're gonna play number 41 for you. Come and see, I swear by now I'm playing time against my troubles. Oh, I'm coming slow, but speeding. And do you wish for a dance? And while I'm in the front, my play on time is won. Oh, but the difficulties come in here. Yeah. Ba-da-da-da-da-da, 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 ba-da-da-da-da, yeah. I will go in this way, oh, and find my own way out. I won't tell you what to be, oh no, and I'm coming here for much more. Me, all at once the ghosts come back, reeling in you. Oh, what if they came down crashing? It used to be that you and me played for all the loneliness that nobody notices now. Oh, breaking slow, I'm coming. Hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, and I'll be waiting. I wanted to stay, I wanted to play, I wanted to love you. I'm only this far, and only tomorrow will too. I'll come in here watching back and moving into your head. Please, I wouldn't pass this by. Oh no, I wouldn't take more than I need. What sort of man goes by? Well, I will bring you water. Why won't you ever be glad? It melts into wonder. I came in praying for you. Why won't you run into remembrance? And the tears wash all over you. Over you.